Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Texas Mortgage Boss Podcast. My name is James J. And today I have my good friend, Bridget Falcone. She is an account executive with Goosehead Insurance. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what you should do if you are refinancing your home. How should you handle your insurance? What you should be doing when you're going through that refinance process. And we're also going to talk a little bit about flood insurance because we are in the middle, or actually at the beginning right now, of hurricane season, at least here in the Houston area. So we're just going to talk to us a little bit about that right after this. Hey, Bridget.
I'm back.
You are back. How are you?
I am wonderful. I've been looking forward to this for weeks now. Just my little cameo in the popular life of James Barnes, and I'm just excited to be here for sure.
You did well. You provided. Listen, the whole point of even doing this is really just to provide people with some valuable information from your perspective, from my perspective, because you've got a different perspective as it relates to insurance than anybody else in the insurance. I mean, everybody's different. So the whole point of this is really just to be able to provide value to people, give them some valuable information that they hopefully can actually take and then go use, because you can give them all the information. And then if they just say, hey, that was a great interview, great job, Bridget, and then go back and do nothing, this is way too important to not.
At least we said we tried.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I will continue to do so. And I appreciate your time because you don't have to do this, but I know you are very similar. You like to give back. You like to help.
Absolutely.
It's genuine. It's a genuine, it's for me. And I know for you as well. It's just genuine. We want to help people, right? We want to.
You're not terrible company. You're not terrible company either.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's a lot of information out there. I mean, yes, people can go look at it, but honestly, when it comes to insurance, for some reason, people don't do a lot of research. They don't do enough. They just don't.
Because it's boring.
Yeah, it's not sexy.
It's not.
Yeah.
Our company, this is so funny. I got to say it. So whenever Goosehead started, our motto, our slogan was make insurance sexy. And it's still something we try and live by. Make insurance sexy. When it comes to, hey, nobody wants to shop and call a million carriers. Let's let Goosehead do it. That's sexy for Goosehead to do all that work for us. Things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's true though. You're right. It's not exciting, but we all have to have it. All of us do. And there's various types that are out there, but there's no way that you're going to go through life without insurance. And if you do, it's going to be you're really rolling the dice. And for you and I, of course, being primarily in the mortgage real estate industry, of course, it's a must have for us, the clients that we're dealing with. So today, for people that did not get to see the first one, I want you to kind of give a brief little introduction about yourself. And then we're going to talk about refinancing, which is really interesting because that is an opportunity for people to make changes and really be aware and look at maybe, hey, do I have the right insurance as I'm doing this refinance? Number one, and then maybe they need to add or change or remove or whatever the case may be. So we'll talk about what people can do when they're going through a refinance as it relates to insurance. And then the other thing is the flood insurance, which for us and especially for us in Houston, you shouldn't be getting tired of it because unfortunately we're in hurricane season right now, and we don't know what's going to happen. So let's start with just a little brief introduction. First of all, if you didn't see the first one, you need to go back and watch that one because
exactly.
But for people that have not seen that first one, give a little background about yourself, kind of how you got into the industry, and then we'll kind of talk about that refi.
Absolutely. So my name is Bridget Falcone. I am an account executive broker here at Goosehead Insurance. Yeah. Goosehead, in a nutshell, is now the largest brokerage in the state of Texas, which means we have 32 carriers that we can write with. Our goal is to find you the best coverage at the best rate. So that's what I do. I'm a broker. I actually write the business. I'm actually the agent that is talking to the clients, everything like that. So yeah, that is me in a nutshell. Quick introduction.
Yeah. And so you're a huge sports fanatic too.
I am a huge sports fanatic. Yes. How about them Stros?
I was just about to
How about
say
we needed
baseball for
this.
sure.
Man, Houston needed this. I mean, after all the turmoil that the past year and a half has been for the Texans and the Rockets, the Astros really needed this. It's so cool. I went to the game last Tuesday when Jose hit that walk-off grand slam right at the end. I went with my team members here at work, and most of them are like, all right, like we're leaving. I don't leave games early because I know that I knew that something was going to happen. Literally, I looked through the lineup and I was like, man, if we can get Jose up there, he's going to hit the walk-off. What happens? It was the coolest moment. But I'm so excited. The Astros, if you aren't watching the Astros right now, you need to, because those bats are hot.
Listen, we need a bright light because between the Texans and the Rockets right now, oh my gosh. Thank God for the Astros.
Yes, absolutely.
Our sports franchises go here in Houston for sure. So, and yes, I'm not a huge baseball guy, but the Astros got me to become a much, much bigger baseball fan. And honestly, I only watch the Astros.
Are you basketball?
I'm a basketball guy.
Who do you have in the finals?
You know, I'm going to say Phoenix for sure. I think Phoenix is going to win for sure. The conference finals anyway. And what happens after that, who knows? But they're just on fire right now.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to
watch the game on Saturday with Milwaukee.
Although they lost the game, I still think Milwaukee's going to end up winning the series. I do. I honestly, I'd rather see the Hawks. I just think Trae Young is much more entertaining.
Me too. I love Trae Young.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
But Giannis, I know.
He's not. Listen, he's a great basketball player. He's just not that entertaining. He's 7 foot. It shouldn't. He does some crazy stuff. I am more entertained by guards like a Trae Young. That's more entertaining for me. But
yeah, I agree.
Ultimately, I think Milwaukee's good because if it comes down to 7 games, they're going to be at home. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm going to have to give the nod, and it may not go that far, but I still think Milwaukee's going to win. But I would love to see Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, we'll see.
So, all right. So we got our sports fix. So let's talk about the refinance. So for people who are going through a refinancing, we had a really, really hot year in 2020 of refinances. 2021, it slowed down a little bit. However, there are people that are still refinancing. So this is important because I think 2 things here. I think some people get stuck and they think that they can't change insurance at any point, which they can. Number one, they can. But especially during a refinance, you need to look at the policy and see if it's really serving you in a way that you need. So talk to me a little bit about that. What people can do as they're going through a refinance. So what they should be doing, I would say that.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously refinancing is going to be your expertise. You're the lender. But when you are thinking about refinancing, what are you trying to do? You're trying to save money.
Absolutely.
So why not just hit a home run and save money in all the different areas of, your property?
Yeah.
Number one, of course, being your rate. Rates are still low, like James said, so still looking to refinancing. Your taxes, which, sorry, we're not going to change that. And then also your insurance. Your insurance affects how much you pay every month. It affects how much you pay every month. It affects how much you pay every year. Yeah. And it can actually aid in lowering your percentage. Yeah. So I actually have a graphic here that I'm going to pull up.
Share that with us so we can look at it.
Yeah, okay. I can share it. Okay, cool. Let's do that. So this will just kind of, I'm not a math girl. So this will just make it a little bit easier for everybody. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, gotcha. Let's see. Here we go.
Okay.
And then let's do that. Can you see it now?
Yeah, we're good.
All right, perfect. So in a nutshell, what this is breaking down is your insurance impact on a monthly payment basis. So just say that you have a $200,000 loan at 4% right now. Well, you call me and I am able to save you, you know what? And like I was telling you, James, about $56 a month is the average savings that I'm being able to do for people. I have seen so much as $100 a month.
Yep.
savings. You know, my own father, I was able to save $100 a month on his homeowner's insurance by switching him. So what you're looking at over on the right side, so I save you this money each month on the insurance. That is the equivalency of say I saved you $56.74 of a 0.5% impact on your refinance. So if you're looking at it from refinance terms, that is the equivalent of me saving you 0.5%. So that here, let me get out of here. That's insane just through your insurance. So what I recommend for everybody is if you're refinancing right now, go ahead and make the extra effort to reach out to me, of course. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shop the market. There's going to be a carrier that's going to be more competitive. Like I said, these carriers are always changing their rates. So I'm going to find somebody that's going to be more competitive for you, in turn saving you money each month, in turn making your refinance even more evident. You're already saving by refinancing. Now you're going to save even more by making that escrow payment a little bit smaller or a lot smaller. You never know. And so, insurance, shopping your insurance should be a step for every single person that is refinancing. And the good thing is, if you have a broker already, if you say you're not refinancing right now, but you may in 5 years, something like that, you should be I should be your agent now because I'm a broker. When you're refinancing, I'm already going to automatically do that for you. I'm already going to automatically be making sure that you're still in the competitive spot. So, it's a win-win.
And the other thing I want you to touch on this because I know a lot of people that get the initial, like if they're refinancing or just purchasing, there's no time frame for you to keep your insurance necessarily. So if you're 6 months in and you just need to, maybe reevaluate your insurance, or you're watching this video and you're thinking, you know what, I really need to check my insurance, which you should. You don't have to keep your policy. And it's not that big of a deal to change. It really isn't. If you find a more competitive quote or, something that's going to save you some money. And especially in this day and age, because we've got so many people that are either still without a job or struggling financially with COVID and all this stuff. It's still going on. I know COVID somehow went away, but the reality is the financial people are still hurting. And so I'm only bringing this up because this is a way where maybe somebody can help themselves just reevaluate their insurance. Even if you're 6 months in, you don't have to keep your policy. You can change.
You live in Texas. Texas, thankfully, is a prorated state, which means that you are legally allowed to cancel your insurance at any time for a prorated refund. So perfect example. A lot of people think, I renew in August, can't talk to you till August. No. You need to talk. I've got a lady that I actually helped this morning. Her renewal was in August and her auto renewal was she just paid her auto renewal in May. And I was able to find her something better on home and auto. Home, we switched. I mean, it's good. She's going to get a prorated refund for the 2 months until August. For the auto, even though she paid in full that 6 months, it was still worth it for her to see that savings. She's going to call Allstate. She's calling Allstate today. And she is getting a prorated refund from Allstate. Same thing happens for your home. And it's simpler for your home because you don't have to pay anything out of pocket. I send what we call in the insurance world, a binder over to my friend, Mr. J over here. And he is going to take that binder and apply it into your escrow. Your old insurance company is going to send you a prorated check in the mail. You, like the client, they're going to send you the prorated check. You take that check and you give it right back to my friend, Mr. J. And you say, put this in my escrow, make my payments low. That's it.
So it's very easy. And for people, again, just to summarize this again, you do not have to keep your policy. Like you can change if you're 3 months in. So, insurance is always paid a year in advance. So when you're escrowing or if you're closing or purchasing a home, that insurance policy gets paid a year in advance. So if you decide at month 4, you know what, I'm going to call Bridgette and see if I can get a better policy, and you change, you're going to get back the money.
What you didn't use.
You're not losing any of your money. They're just going to refund you that money and you move on to your new policy. So this is just one way, as I'm sitting here thinking, for people to maybe be able to save themselves some money, because a lot of people are looking for ways to do it. This is one that probably most people, if they're in their house already, they're not even thinking about insurance. They're just probably not thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a good time to reevaluate my insurance. All of my insurances, for that matter, not just your homeowner's insurance. But this is a way to maybe look at saving some money. And what you just showed is a great way to do it on a homeowner's insurance policy. But I mean, I'm sure you can look at all those policies for people. And
and there's different discounts. Different discounts can always be applied. Say you have a kid, that's now straight A student, good student discount. Say you just got a brand new roof. Oh my gosh, if you got a brand new roof, call me. Yeah. You will get a discount on your insurance for having a brand new roof.
Yeah.
All kinds of different things. I mean, the list goes on and on for you just to, and like I said, I can't push it enough. The insurance world is moving to a broker oriented, it's broker oriented now. Even those captive carriers, like farmers who just used to write farmers, have brought in different carriers because you have to diversify yourself. You have to be able to, like I said last time, it's everybody wants a choice and everybody wants a comparative choice. And so find yourself a broker that's literally going to do that for you so that you don't have to do it,
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you definitely can make the process a whole lot easier. But just one call. And like I said, this is a good way for people to be able to look at saving. Just something that probably goes overlooked. They're looking at, cutting back on this, cutting back on that.
Cutting back on Starbucks. Keep your Starbucks.
Exactly.
Keep your Starbucks. I'll save you that money.
Right. Yeah, keep your Starbucks. Save money on your insurance.
Exactly.
You can't be messing with nobody's Starbucks now.
What's more important here?
Starbucks. Yeah. So this is an opportunity. Again, you don't have to keep your policy. You can make a call. Let Bridgette evaluate it, see where you're at, and see if it makes sense. I mean, if it doesn't make sense, that's fine. But at least you've done your due diligence and and then when the time comes up again for insurance, maybe you reach out again and see where you're at that point. But it's worth a call. It's definitely worth a call for sure. So as I mentioned earlier, so we are in hurricane season, and and unfortunately, for us in Houston, anytime we get rain, and it's been raining, the last few days here or there, we all panic a little. I think all of us are like, uh-oh.
It's PTSD.
It is. Like, seriously, it is. I agree. Fortunately, I didn't have any, nothing fortunately from my house, nothing happened during Harvey, but
good.
I think there's still, because, there's certain areas in the Houston area where it floods quickly. Mm-hmm. So we are in the middle of, the beginning, should I say, season for hurricanes. So give us some things that maybe people need to know as it relates to flood insurance, because there's probably still some misinformation about how it works. The cost of it. Is it expensive? How does that work? So we can maybe dispel some of the myths about flood insurance.
Absolutely. So first, two things that I want everybody to do. Do you know what flood plain you're in? Do you know what flood zone you're in?
Yeah.
Do you know that? And do you know if you have a current flood policy? Regardless of being in a high risk zone or a low risk zone, I recommend every single person in the Houston area to have a flood policy.
Yeah.
60% of houses that flooded during Harvey were in a low risk zone.
Yeah.
60%. They didn't have flood insurance because unfortunately, somebody told them, hey, you're in a low risk zone. You don't need it. Just because it's not required by your loan doesn't mean that you don't maybe need it.
Yes.
So, and also another misconception is I have homeowners insurance. Doesn't that cover flood? No, unfortunately, the homeowners insurance, even the creme de la creme of homeowners policies, which I write, they're called HO3s.
Yeah.
They are going to have exclusions. So they're called open peril, which means everything is included, except for 9 things. Very first one on that list is going to be flood. Yeah. All the rest are crazy, like nuclear war and intentional acts. So no Breaking Bad, like that kind of thing. Or, they're crazy. But flood is the very number one thing on that list.
Yeah.
So if you have a homeowner's policy and you have flood comes in, heaven forbid, and it, completely demolishes your downstairs. you're not covered,
Yeah.
And so people don't realize, like you said, how important it is first and how inexpensive it can be second.
Yes.
So first, if you're in a flood zone, I'm sorry, we're going to try and find you the best thing that we can. But sometimes flood insurance can be a little pricey, but it can really save you if something happens. I've got clients in Bel Air. Their flood policy is $4,000. Their homeowner's insurance is only like $1,600.
Yeah.
It's just the luck of the draw. Unfortunately, they're in a flood zone, and that's, the chances of them flooding are very high. So obviously their flood insurance is going to be higher. But if you're in a low risk zone, which is classified as an X zone, flood insurance is going to be as inexpensive as $572 a year. Yes. $500. And it can go down from there, but that's estimating a $250,000 dwelling coverage, which is the house structure.
Yep.
So we can still bring it down from there. So say, only a little part of your house is, in the flood zone, whatever. We'll talk about that. It's customizable and it's circumstantial to, figure out. Sorry, there's a accident over there. We're right off of 290 and it's just going crazy over there. And so it's all circumstantial, but the number one most important thing to do is to reach out to me, and I will go ahead and run what we call a flood zone determination to figure out what zone you're in and what we're looking at as far as a flood policy is concerned.
So first of all, I don't know what flood, and I should. As I'm listening to you, I'm like,
oh no.
When we get done with this, I'm gonna find out because I don't know.
Yep.
And chances are most people don't know.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
It's
not common knowledge.
But yeah, I mean, it's not that difficult to find out. It's relatively simple to find this information out. So this is not rocket science.
You got to have an insurance agent. Just send it to, if you got a personal insurance agent, that's fine. Send them your property if they don't know, and they're going to be able to basically run a flood zone determination to see your zoning. But if you want, also, dude, you got my email right here. Email me over your property and say, hey, saw you on James's podcast. Yeah. Just tell me what flood zone I'm in. I am happy to do that. Even if you're not looking to switch insurance, I'm happy to tell you, because like you said in the very beginning of this, I am in the business of helping people. Yeah. And that's payment enough. So Send me your property. Literally, you don't have to tell me anything else. Just send me your property and I'll send you over your determination and advise you on what you should do. Now, I did want to tell everybody this, because this is super important as time is ticking, Mm-hmm. Any FEMA-backed policy, FEMA being the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the government, any FEMA-backed policy, which I prefer to write because it's 100% replacement cost and it's backed by the government.
Okay.
They're all good. If we did a private carrier, you're still going to get your money. But the FEMA ones are the big ones, that are backed by the government. 30 days until those become effective from the day of payment. The reason that these do this is because obviously they're protecting themselves so that next time a big storm comes through, everybody doesn't go, I need flood insurance tomorrow. Right. So 30 days is going to be the requirement wait time for your flood policy to start. Even more reason to call me today. Even more reason just to get it set up. If you don't have $572, I mean, I get it. That's a lot of money to come out at once. Break it down monthly. Yes. It's so worth it, because seeing people that got, totally, obliterated in Harvey, it's just crushing. I mean, it happened to 3 of my friends. All of them didn't have flood insurance. I was in college during the time.
You know what's crazy? We're still, in certain places, you can still, we're now, 4 years? Almost
17.
4 years.
Yeah, 4. I was a sophomore.
And there's still places and there's still people that, either we're still dealing with some of the remnants of Harvey. And then, of course, we had this, what they call snowvid, I guess, back in February, which also caused some damage. But my point in this is you don't want to wait until something happens to find out, oh, crap, my insurance is not covered. It's a simple thing to reach out to somebody to be able to look at it and make sure you're covered. And if you're not, you need to know. It's like, not going to the doctor because you don't want to find out what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
You
and
don't
there
want
are,
to kid
there
yourself.
are people like that. They're like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to the doctor. They're going
No,
to
I
find something wrong.
know. That's called living in denial, and it'll never produce
Yeah.
happiness.
Yeah. So the
Trust me, it
insurance
took
thing
me a
again
year. It took me a year. I was in denial about graduating college for a year.
is
Now I'm like grown up and I'm like, all right, you're not
yeah.
in college anymore. Time to be a big girl.
It's yeah. Change it is a challenge. People don't we don't really like change.
No.
Some people do. It depends on what it is, but
Yeah.
this is a very 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 easy thing to reach out to a professional, and because if
Mhm.
you do this all day every day 24/7, this is your life, this is what you do.
Mhm.
I don't even do it. For me, it's the mortgage side. And so for people that are outside of our industry, they don't deal with this stuff all the time, nor do they, probably don't want to.
Yeah,
That's not what they want to do. So it's just a simple thing to reach out to you and
absolutely.
get some help. Hey, look at this for me. What do you think? It's
Mhm.
really that simple. I mean, it really is. But you do not want to be in a position to where you have to find out after the fact. And much like a home warranty, for example, a lot of these home warranties, when you get a
Yeah.
home warranty on your house, you can't get the home warranty and then call them next week. Hey, my refrigerator's not working. Right? It's
Yeah.
a waiting period.
Yeah.
So same thing as it relates to that FEMA policy you were talking about. And this is the time, like I said, we're going into hurricane season. We don't know what's going to happen over the next 3-4 months. We don't. I mean,
They're
if we
saying,
do,
what are they saying? 6? They're
yeah,
expecting 6
yeah,
over category 3 hurricanes to happen this year.
absolutely. And this is not
It's going to be a rough year,
not
unfortunately.
to be a fear monger. It's just reality.
Yeah, no, and I hate that. I
You
always
know?
hate bringing up Harvey. I always hate all of that, but it is reality
It
at the end of the
is.
day.
Absolutely. And so
Nothing strikes a nerve like reality.
I'm trying to get people to really, 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 really
Yeah.
reach out and think about this. It's not that difficult to reach out to somebody and ask, "Can you look at this? Am I covered where I need?" And getting that the flood insurance, for the cost of it, it's very, very minimal, uh,
Mhm.
but very, very needed. And again, you don't want to be caught. Even if we never, and pray to God, we never have a Harvey again. But it doesn't even have to be a Harvey. It doesn't have to be that
Mm-mm.
catastrophic by any means. We get a lot of rain and things happen. Nobody knew what was going to happen back in February where we had a free, a 50 once in a lifetime freeze. So stuff happens. Again, insurance is awesome. If you knew when everything was going to happen, you wouldn't need it. Just plan
Mhm.
for it. Oh, I know what's going to happen next month. I already know. I know. I don't need insurance. I'm planning for it.
Go buy the sponges. Go put the bounty paper towels outside.
Yeah. So I am hoping that people really take this message and do something with it,
And
and
I'll take care of them.
don't just listen to Bridgette talk and say it's great. Like reach out to her, get some information, let her analyze the policy and help you. I mean, it's really not that difficult to do, but it is very easy to forget. It just
Absolutely.
is. So one of those things. So the best way for people to reach out to you.
Yes. Best way to reach out to me. Of course, you can always call me. My number, I'm going to say it twice, is going to be 713-324-9028, or the one below scrolling. That's my cell phone, and that is a perfect one as well. 713-816-6619. That one's great too. It's my cell phone. The other one's my direct line, which literally just transfers to my cell phone. Two
Okay.
birds, one stone. Just use my cell phone right there.
Okay.
Also, just email me, emailing me, bridget.falcone@goosehead.com. And just tell me, your worries, your needs, and we'll find a good time to talk. I know everybody's working.
Yeah.
We'll find a good time to talk, even if it's a little bit later, a little bit earlier. And I will, debrief you on what is what and what you need and what you don't need. And we can just have a conversation. My goal is to, advise, but also to be a friend and to be a neighbor. So,
Yeah.
those are two best ways.
Well, again, I appreciate you, and I cannot emphasize this insurance thing enough. Don't be caught. Don't be caught after the fact, man. It sucks.
It
It just
does.
does to find out I'm not covered for this. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, you're already, when the crazy stuff happens, whether it be a flood or a snowstorm or that kind of stuff, that our electricity goes out for a week, and stuff happens during this crazy stuff you just can't predict, but it makes it even worse when you find out I'm
You're
not
not
covered.
covered. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I know you hear this all the time. I hear it. I know you hear it all the time. These stories of people that are just finding out, oh yeah, I'm not covered, and now what?
That's why you just call me, and I got you. I got you handled, guys.
Absolutely.
Don't you worry.
Yeah. So our Bridgets information is there. I appreciate you, Bridget. We will continue to come on and educate on different things as they come up. I'm praying that we don't have a crazy hurricane season in the Houston area.
Yes, we're praying it isn't either, too.
You know, it's Mother Nature. What do you do? That's the thing about these storms. There's nobody to hold. You can't blame anybody.
I know.
We like to blame. We like to blame something. You can't blame anybody for a storm.
Nope.
You know, people might talk about the atmosphere. Who do you blame for a hurricane? Nobody.
The Gulf of Mexico? I don't know.
I'm sure there's somebody out there who trying to blame somebody for it, but it's like, this is Mother Nature. This stuff happens. So
absolutely.
I'm laughing, but it's a serious matter. Don't be caught without being covered. Coverage, make sure you are covered in every aspect, not just the homeowners, everything really. Especially for us, because we do, unfortunately, in Houston, we get a lot of stuff that happens from time to time. That's just it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. This is where we live. That happens, and there are other people that are in parts of the country that they're prone to certain things all the time.
We don't have hurricanes. I mean, we don't have earthquakes.
Right, or tornadoes.
We have hurricanes.
Very rarely we have a tornado, but there are places that it's all the time. So, anyway. Not a difficult thing to do, to call a professional, have them look at it, and make sure you're covered. It's really that simple. All right.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
It was fun as always. I'm so appreciative. You are a rock star. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. And you guys make sure you call, email Bridget. Also, make sure you go subscribe to the Texas Mortgage Bonds podcast as well. Spotify, iTunes. We're there. We're going to be on the podcast there, and then the YouTube channel as well. And we'll be back next week. Talk to you guys soon.